and this is the ECR. I'm Terry, N5RTC, this evening's host. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark, KE2EDS, in the Zoom room. The third member of our team is also in the Zoom room. Gil, K4GDS, will log your check-ins. If you'd like to follow along with the log, visit ecr.radio/logs and click on Open Mic Night. Our net controller for the evening is Dave, WB8ODF. Before I turn the net over to him, I have a couple of announcements. I don't know whether you listened to the announcements that preceded the net, so I'm going to repeat one of them. If you want to avoid check-in pileups, text your call and only your call to 716-317-9050. Or you can email your call sign to text@ecr.radio. Now, if you text or email, please stay near your radio because we will call on you at the appropriate time. If you're interested in becoming an Open Mic Net controller, and I know you will be after listening to Dave tonight, go to ecr.radio/join-open-mic. And that mic is spelled M-I-C. Fill out a form. One of our team members will contact you. We'll go over what's involved and answer any questions you have. We'd love to have you join us. Third announcement, the 2026 ECR Meet and Greet will be held on June 20th at Chestnut Ridge Park in Orchard Park, New York. Watch for the details. Okay, that's enough for me, so let's get started. Tonight's question, have you ever served on a jury? The check-in order will be mobiles first, then general check-ins by radio, or you can text or email your call. And now here's Dave, WB8ODF, your net controller. Over to you, Dave.
Thank you, Terry, and I want to acknowledge our co-host as well, Mark, KE2EDS. And let's go ahead and take from anywhere. I have two text check-ins. I've got KF7AGAJG and KR4KAW. So anybody else anywhere that would like to check in, please come with your call signs now.
Kilo November 4, Kilo Papa Delta. KJ5MEL, Jose from Austin, Texas.
Kilo Mike 6, India Oscar Kilo. Kilo Mike 6, India Oscar Kilo. Carl, Mobile, Portland, Oregon.
Florida.
Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra. Victor, Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra. Bill.
Oscar 6, Mike November. Kilo, Oscar 6, Mike November.
November 1, Whiskey Echo Bravo, N1WEB.
November Bravo 9 Delta. November Bravo 9.
Kilo 4, November Hotel Victor, K4 MH there. Make a short first list.
K2CMT.
I've got K4NHV, NB9D, N1WEB, K06MMN, VA3YBS. I've got a station that is something like KM6IM question mark. I'll ask for you when we get down to you. We got KJ5MEL, K2CMT Mike, and KF7AJG. That's Fernando, and it looks like you're new. Up at the top is Ryan, KR4KAW. Ryan, good evening. Have you ever served on a jury? That could...
AW. I got called for jury duty once, but was never selected on... I'm actually one of those people who would not have minded being chosen. So I got called once, was never selected. Back to you, Net Control.
Thank you, sir. And you're... let's go down to Fernando. It looks like you're brand new, KF7AJG. Good evening. Fernando, are you with us? KF7AJG. We're looking for you in Kissimmee, Florida there. Have you ever served on a jury? All right, let's make him in and out, and we'll move on to Mr. Mike, K2CMT. Good evening, Mr. Mike.
Good evening, Dave. Never called, never served. Everyone have a great net tonight. K2CMT.
All right, so we have two no's tonight. Real early in the evening, I was called up once, and they asked me if I wanted to serve, and I said, well, clearly the guy is innocent on the grounds of not guilty, and they let me go home. So I'm down for a no. All right, Jose, KJ5MEL, good evening.
MEL, called 10 times, never selected. So I have not served in a jury.
All right. Well, you've never served 10 times. Wow, that's amazing. All right, let's see. I got a station that I think we missed a letter of your call sign, KM6IM question mark, anything like that?
That would be Kilo Mike 6, India, Oscar Kilo. I'm okay. This is Carl, currently mobile in Portland, and I have been called many times, but the second they find out my mother was a paralegal, they usually decide to send me home, so I have never served. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. 73, KM6, I'm okay.
I have to say, Carl, I love that call sign, I'm okay, because most of the time I'm not. But okay, I like that. I'm okay. All right, Bill, YBS.
Good evening, Dave. Thanks for doing the net tonight. Yes, I have served on a jury, and it was kind of interesting. We had a hard time, well, not so hard, but we had a difficult time coming to a unanimous verdict. Had a couple of holdouts that didn't want to convict, and we went back and forth quite a bit. Finally, got everybody unanimous. So we called the clerk to call the court back in, and we could deliver the verdict. And after the clerk left the jury room, somebody said, well, what about the other two charges? There were two secondary charges. So we had to get the clerk back and say, never mind, and we had to go back to work on the other charges. But we did those relatively quickly after getting the main one. Anyway, that's my story. VA3, YBS, back to you.
Well, that's kind of cool, Ed. I mean, that's a kerfuffle on the, that wasn't on you guys' side. That was on the legal side. All right, let's go down to Webb, N1WEB. Good evening, and what is your answer? Have you ever served?
Thank you, Dave, and you're doing a great job. Thank you for running the net tonight. Yes, I have. About 8 years ago, I served on a jury, and the gentleman was up on state charges for drug dealing, and he was convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison. He had a kicker on that sentence due to selling drugs within like 100 yards of a school or something. So he got a very extreme sentence. Now that jury had 14 people on it, and the actual jury that sentenced him had 12. And I was fortunate to sit through the trial, which was very interesting, and then there was like a raffle at the end to see which two jurors would be dismissed. Let me pause. Well, I was fortunate enough to be dismissed, so I kind of feel good, and I slept good that night that I actually put this guy away for 40 years, because that's an awful long time. And with that, I'll send it back to the net. This is N1WEB.
All right, Webb, that was a good story there. Thanks a lot for joining us this evening. Moving down to NB9D. Neil in Bedford, New Hampshire. Good evening. Have you ever served on a jury?
Hi, net control to everyone out here. This is November Bravo 9 Delta, and the answer is no, not ever served. So there you go. That's our final answer. No. Back to net control, NB9D.
All right. Thank you, Neil. And we're going to back up a little bit here. I overlooked somebody. We've got K06MMN Ed in San Jose, California. Good evening, sir.
Well, good evening to you. Good evening to everyone. I have not served on it. That's pretty crazy, the 40 years for that guy. You know, you get people who should get 40 years and they get 2 years, and people who get 40 years that should get 2 years, right? So I really don't want to serve on a jury. I might use what you said there, net control, if I do get asked. Anyway, have a good evening. Back to you guys. Kilo Oscar 6, Mike November.
All right, Ed. Sorry we leaped right over you. Sorry about that. Nick is up next, K4NHV. Good evening, and have you served, sir?
Well, good evening, Dave, and everybody on the net. No, I have not served on a jury. I've been a registered voter forever, and they never called me, so never had to partake in that, and I'm kind of glad. Hey, I'm a new guy here on All-Star. I just set up a clear note today. I'm not even sure if I know how to disconnect, but you might critique the audio or whatever, because I have no idea what this thing sounds like right now. Anyway, back to you, and thank you for picking me up. Everybody have a great night. K4NHV.
Well, thank you, Nick, for being here this evening, and I have to tell you, I wish my audio sounded like yours. That's how good it is. All right, down to Kathy, K1TPK. Good evening, Kathy, and have you ever served on a jury?
I have received 5 summons. The first time was in college, and that was a long, long time ago. And I was living in a different area, so I pled that and got dismissed through the mail. But recently I have gotten 4. I have been, no trial scheduled on the first one. The second one I had to go. Something happened. I'm going to take a break for just a sec. The third one, I went in, and it was a civil trial that was going to last 1 to 2 weeks, and I said honestly that I was the only, I work for a town government, and I'm the IT person, and I just said, I'm perfectly willing to serve in this jury, and I think it would be interesting, but if something happens, the fire and police department rely on me, so if I'm not your last option, maybe I would be better left off. And they left me off. And the last time was a federal jury summons, which was the worst of all time. It's 2.5 hours drive away, and you have to serve for 3 weeks. And luckily, they didn't call me, and I've never been so happy to not be called, because it just would have been a misery. I would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and be on the road at 5 o'clock. K1TPK, back to net, and thank you for running the net. I've done it once, and it was awesome, but it's not easy. K1TPK.
All right, Kathy, that was an interesting story. And if you would like to join us again, please get in touch with either of our hosts, Terry, N5RTC, or Mark, KE2EDS, and they will gladly put you on the list for another round. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other text check-ins. KE7K, WB2JPQ, N5RTC, KQ0GWO, KN6PRD, and KQ4GLY. We'll get to you guys. Let's open up some check-ins. Anyone, anywhere that would like to check in other than the ones I just mentioned.
Kilo November 4, Kilo Papa Delta Neil, Villages, Florida.
Hey, mobile, in and out, call, never served. AK6CS, Alpha Kilo 6 Charlie, Foxtrot. KF8, ESN, mobile, in and out.
2ZBN, and Kilo Mike 7, Bravo Uniform Papa, KM7, DUP.
November 3, Mike Delta Charlie. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
Kilo Mike 6 Delta Sierra Juliet, in and out.
2ZBN, and 2ZBN.
Kilo Alpha 4, Juliet Alpha Zulu, KA4, KZ, in and out. Kilo 6, Golf Bravo Zulu, K6, GBZ, in and out.
Kilo Mike 7, Bravo Uniform Papa, Kilo Mike 7, Bravo Uniform Papa.
FLO, KE2 FLO, in and out.
Kilo 6 Charlie Foxtrot, AK6CS.
All right, let's hold it up there. I've got 3 in and outs. I've got KE2FLO. Thanks for being here, Mike. And KA4JAZ, Elton. And K7DSJ. And we're looking that up on QRZ, so that might be incorrect. I'll come back down to you with that. All right, going up to the top here, we have, I'm going to go ahead and do the text check-ins. KQ4GLY, Chris, good evening, and have you ever served on a jury?
Good evening, Dave, and everyone on the net. Yes, I served on a jury. It was a civil trial, and we ruled for the plaintiffs. It was a vehicle accident case. Back to you, KQ4GLY.
All right, well, let me say thank you for your service. How about Alfredo, KN6PRD? You seem to be new. Good evening, and welcome to the net. KN6PRD, Alfredo, are you still with us? All right, well, we're going to mark you in and out here. Going down next is KQ4GWO William in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Good evening, and have you served?
Thank you, Net Controls. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Whiskey Oscar, Forest, North Carolina. I've been called, but been dismissed twice. Thank you once again. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Whiskey Oscar, 73.
All right, William. Well, thank you very much for almost serving. I like that. Next up is the guy who got me into this open mic night thing on Wednesdays, Terry, N5RTC. Good evening, and thanks for bringing me aboard.
Well, Dave, you're very welcome. You're doing a great job tonight, all by yourself, sort of. I have been in Austin for 52 years. Over that time, I've probably only received 6 or 7 summons for jury duty. I've only served once, and that was an interesting case. It was the first violation of the Travis County massage parlor ordinance. We found the defendant guilty. N5RTC, back to net control.
Terry, I love that one. Very good explanation. Very good. Next up is Dick, the godfather here of the ECR, WB2JPQ. Good evening, Dick.
Well, good evening, Dave. Great to hear you on the net, as always, from Ypsilanti, Michigan. For those of you that are as old as dirt, if you remember S&H green stamps, they originated in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Yes, I think I was 5 times. I got called 5 times, and I was on a jury 5 times, Dave. I had to sit and think here for the last 45 minutes. With the best of my recollection, my number is 5, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed every case I was on. Back to you, Dave. This is WB2JPQ. Oh, by the way, come join us all tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 o'clock in our Zoom room for Ask an Elmer, Be an Elmer, especially to the newly licensed amateurs. So 8 o'clock ECR Zoom room tomorrow night, Ask an Elmer, Be an Elmer. This is WB2JPQ.
All right, well, let's put these advertisements back to back. Don't forget, every single Friday night is the Youth Net here on the ECR Reflector. 8 p.m. Friday night, the Youth Net. Please be here. You'll love it. Another one of our ECR people. Okay, good evening, Kevin. I haven't talked to you in a little while.
Hey, good evening, Dave. Yeah, it has been a while. Thanks for picking me up. I just walked in the door from the massage parlor, so wanted to get checked in. I have been called for jury duty 3 times. The most recent one was about 6 weeks, a couple months ago now. I didn't get selected. Got sent home after a half day. Everybody got sent home. But the previous 2, I did get selected, and I was on a multi-day trial on both of them, and we found both people guilty. So there you go. Doing a good job, Dave. Thanks again for picking me up. KE7K.
And thank you, Kevin. Kevin does a lot around here on the ECR, so always want to thank him when he can get in here. Barry, you're up next, KQ4ORK. Have you ever served on a jury? KQ4ORK. Barry, are you still with us? All right. Well, Barry from Apopka, Florida there can try and check in with us a little down the log here. AK6CF. Ed, you're up next. Good evening.
Good evening to one and all, AK6CF. Yes, I've been called, but I was a police officer back then, and I just had to tell them, and excuse me. AK6CF, good evening all.
Well, I have to ask you, Ed, when they did call you up, did you tell them they had the right to remain silent?
No, by no means. No. It's just, it's kind of hard to be on both sides of the fence.
I hear you, sir. All right, coming up next is Into Zed Baker X-Ray. Good evening, and is that Amaryllis? You seem to be new, and am I pronouncing that correctly? So are you still with us? Is there any call sign that's even close to that? N2ZBX? Anything close to that? Maybe we have it messed up.
Good evening, this is N2CFX. I just connected my node, but are you calling out for me?
Well, let's pretend like we are. So, yeah, go ahead. Good evening.
I apologize. I literally just connected my nodes, so I'm assuming you guys are in the middle of a net, so I apologize for that. Anyway, this is N2CFX. If you are running the net, I guess this is me checking in. Thank you for running the net.
Well, thank you for being here. Next up is a friend of mine from way back, years and years ago, Michael in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, N3MDC. Michael, it's been a long time since I got the privilege of saying hello to you. Good evening.
Well, it's a pleasure, Dave. It's always good to hear from you. We miss hearing you on net that I run, but we'll talk about that later. But Dave, Bill, I've never had to serve jury duty, unfortunately, and I'm very lucky about that. So, but Dave, it's always good to hear from you. You take care, and hope to hear you again sometime. 7-3, N3MDC.
All right, Michael. Yeah, just keep sending me the emails on Monday. I know it's Monday night. I just keep forgetting. I don't know why. Maybe I should tell Alexa to remind me. Remind me to tell her to remind me, okay? Good hearing from you, Michael. Coming up next, KM7DSJ, good evening. Well, you're in and out, so I'm going to say really good evening to you. Thanks for stopping by. We've got KA4JAZ also in and out, and KE2FLO in and out as well. So going back up to the top there, just after Michael, we'll go with N2ZVN. Alan, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Dave. Everyone on the net tonight? Well, no, I haven't. You know, I've gone through the selection process a couple of times where you actually get interviewed by the lawyers, but never got picked. So, I don't know. There's still time, I suppose. And N2ZVN, back to the net. Everyone have a great night.
I'm sorry, my thumb keeps flipping off of the PTT here. K6GBZ Tom, good evening to you, and have you served on a jury?
K6GBZ, this is Tom. Thank you for running the net, by the way. You're doing great. I've been 3 times I have been asked to come in, but I have not been selected on a jury. Thank you very much, and everyone have a great day. Take care.
All right, well, thank you very much for not serving on a jury. And I have to tell you, we run this net just like a jury. You're going to get an email from us saying that you must appear, I don't know, next Wednesday, the Wednesday after, I don't know, one of these Wednesdays for open mic night. Dan, you're up next, KM7BUP. Good evening.
Back to you. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much for being here. And this is Dave, WB8ODF, and you are on the East Coast Reflector Open Mic Night. We do this every Wednesday, and if you are at all interested, you can go to eastcoastreflector.com and sign up, fill out a little, I haven't looked at it. I don't know if it's a question, just do you want to do this or not, or if it's a questionnaire, I don't know. But thanks for being here every Wednesday night. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 text check-ins, and I tell you, this is one of the best ways to go. I get in every single time. You can get there by, again, going to eastcoastreflector.com, and you can go down to the open mic night and sign up for it. Coming up on our, well, let me say who I got here. I've got K2AP, W4AEB, KE2EDS, and Mark and KF4ACB. And at the top, which you'll be next, is K7FPS, all checked in on the text line. So let's go with Fred. Good evening, Fred.
I received a summons exactly as I was moving from Oregon to Reno, and they wanted me in Oregon, and I said, I don't anymore. So I filled out the little form, kind of going, thank you, but no thanks, and nope, I have not served. K7FPS, back to net.
Alrighty, Fred, we got you down as a no. Let's see, I got to scroll back up. Sorry, I scrolled down too far. Ed, you're up next, KF4ACB. Good evening, and welcome to the open mic night. Maybe you would like to be a net controller here sometime. We're not going to make you serve if you don't want to, though, but we might send you out a summons to at least be here.
But I would do my duty, I guess. I did get called to a jury once, but it was during COVID, and I have a very bad immune system due to a bone disease, and I got out of it. I hated to do it. I felt guilty by not going, but it didn't take much. A room full of sick people.
Alrighty, well, thank you for being here this evening. Coming up next, we have, well, let me say we got VE3BZ, Kevin, one of our people that help out with the nets. We've got Joe, K2AP, W4AEB, and Mark, KE2EDS, one of our hosts this evening. So let's go with Mark, you're first, KE2EDS. Good evening, and thanks for helping out in the Zoom room.
Dave, Gil, Terry, and the rest of the net. I have received summons, but luckily my number was never called. I always had a high number, so I was never called to actually go downtown. And maybe after the net I can get with Terry and get that parlor phone. We'll see if I can do that. Anyways, have a great evening, KE2EDS.
All right, Mark, well, maybe you and Terry can get together after the net. I think I'm going to be up a little bit after the net myself. I'm excited about being here for the entire hour. Armand, you're up next, W4AEB. Good evening.
Thanks for having me. It's W4AEB, Armand in Miami. And yeah, back in New York years ago, if you had your own business, there were circumstances you could get out of it, which I did a couple of times. Now that I'm in Florida, 3 years ago I was called but did not serve, and so I never served. So anyway, W4EEB, back to net.
All right, Armand, I just scrolled up just to take a peek, but I'm looking at the no's are way outweighing the yeses here. So let's go down to Joe in Islip, Florida. Good evening to you, K2AP.
Good evening, Dave, and good evening. Well, I have to be one of the yeses. I have served quite a few times. But I would give you some advice. If you're ever in jury selection, and they have what they call a voir dire, that's when the lawyer talks to you. And if you want to serve, just answer yes, no to any of the questions. The more you talk, the less likely you are to be called. Okay? So K2AP, back to net. Doing a great job, Dave.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. I was just told the opposite when I took this net tonight. They said, the less you talk, the more we'll use you. If you talk too much, we're not going to use you. Kevin, Victoria Harbour, Ontario, Canada, one of our net people, VE3BZ, good evening. I should say facilitators. I couldn't think of the word.
Well, good evening, Dave, and everyone on the net. Well, last year I got a form in the mail that I had to fill out. I guess it was for the pre-selection process for the pool of jurors. But so far they haven't called me yet, so I guess my answer is no. Great job as always, Dave. Back to you, VE3BZ.
Well, thanks, Kevin. Sounds exactly like some of the mail I get. I am pre-selected to get a card, and I don't care how I'm pre-selected. They won't give me a card. Into BH, Bill, good evening. It was nice. It was you I was listening to this morning, wasn't it?
Good evening, Dave and everybody. Yes, it was. I got a couple notices, but never had to serve. But boy, I testified in front of more juries than I cared to, and to BH.
Thanks, Bill, and I always enjoy your nets. All right, that's bottom of the list. So let's see, we got 20 minutes or so. Let's open it up to anyone. I don't care if you're text, you're mobile, you're in and out. If you'd like to check in now with your call sign slow and slower than slow, so we can get it. You know, I used to hate hearing them say do it slow, but get more of the slow people that do it 2 or 3 times and it's just clear. Couldn't get it the first time, but did on the second or third.
Kilo Juliet 5, India Delta Delta. Kilo Juliet 5, India Delta Delta.
Kilo November 4, Kilo Papa.
Foxtrot, Quebec, November. Kilo, Foxtrot, 8. Foxtrot, Quebec, November.
November 1030, IP shut-off, 4P1, NYS.
N4CGE. Key Tango, Victor Alpha 3, Tango, Yankee Tango. Bravo 8, Whiskey X-Ray, Whiskey, Kilo, Bravo 8, Whiskey X-Ray, Whiskey.
Kilo Charlie 2, Papa Echo Tango, AC2 PET.
Okay, I'm going to hold it up here because we got a couple of people that we probably have a miscommunication. Is there a station KN4KP question mark? KN4KP, anything like that?
This is KR4GIP. I'm not sure if you got me in the logs. KR4GIP.
Okay, we're going to let the KN4, do I have that right? Hang on a second. I got two in the same box here. Well, let's go down here and see if we have Kilo Charlie 2 Papa Alpha Papa. Is that correct? Anything like that? November. All right, we'll put that one on standby. I've got KR4GIP. I've got KC2PET, KB8VXW, VA3TYT, KM7DSG, and we got a 4G1NYS. And let's see, scrolling back up, KF8FQN Wyatt, and KJ5IDD Tracy. So let's go down with it. I'll start with Tracy here, and if I messed your call sign up when I get to it, you can come in and correct me. So KJ5IDD Tracy, good evening in Hobbs, New Mexico.
Hey, good evening, and good job there, Dave. Sounding good tonight, and hello to everybody on the net. No, I have never served on a jury. Got plenty of mail about serving, but never have. So, lucky me, lucky me.
Well, if you were going to vote guilty, probably lucky the guy or girl that you would have been on the jury against. All right, River, KR4GIP, I'm sorry, River. Good evening. Always a pleasure to hear from you.
This is KR4GIP. I have never served on a jury. Not yet, and I never will. Anyways, this is KR4GIP. Back to net.
Well, thank you, River, and I think years down the road you just may have to. So sometimes they make you, sometimes they let you go. All right, Wyatt, you're up next. KF8FQN, good evening.
Good evening, and I have never served jury duty, and I never want to. And that's really it for me. And you have a good evening, and same for everybody on this net. Back to net control.
Well, thank you for being here, and a great signal into the net this evening. All right, Stefan, you're up next, 4G1NYS. Good evening.
Thank you, Net Control. This is Forgo, November Yankee Sierra. My name is Stephen from here in the Philippines, 12 minutes before 10 in the morning here on Thursday. Just coming up and supporting tonight's open mic net. My answer to your question, no. I haven't done jury duty because in the first place, our judiciary system here in my homeland doesn't have any or anything like that. Just like how the American system works, we don't have any grand juries or some sort like that. The judiciary system here in my homeland. 7-3 is back to that.
Well, thank you, Stephen, and I was going to mention this when I saw you actually added to the log here. I have a friend that is out in the living room who is going to be moving to the Philippines in May. So I was going to mention that you might have a new United States guy who I really want to get rid of anyway. No, hey, I didn't say that, but he might be moving to the Philippines shortly. All right. Portland, Oregon, Tudor, that's KM7DSJ, good evening. And have you ever served on a jury? Okay, let's move on to Adam, VA3TYT. Adam, good evening from Toronto, Ontario, just across the water from me near Detroit.
Good evening to you and everybody else on that. Adam here, VA3TYT. I just came across getting my All-Star notes set up there, and I decided to check in with you guys, see what was going on there. I have received jury notice, but I've never been selected, so I haven't been able to experience that whole process. Probably would have been a headache. But that's all about it. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much. Maybe you will get to experience it. Next up is Donald. You seem to be new to the net, KB8VXW. Good evening from, when is that? Oh, Allendale, Michigan. I'm just down the road from you. All right, let me try this. I think we made a mistake here. How about KB8WXW? KB8WXW Chuck. And, well, it doesn't say where you're from. But Chuck, is the call sign right?
Bravo, 8 Whiskey, X-ray Whiskey. I've been summoned to jury twice. First time when I filled out the paperwork, it said law enforcement need not apply. Second time was had military duty, so they thanked me and let me go.
All right, well, thank you for being here with us tonight. Next up is Ross, KC2PET. Good evening, and have you served on a jury, sir?
Well, good evening, David. Thanks for running tonight. You're doing a great job. I had to call in once, but I never had to serve. Back to you, KC2PET.
All right, well, we're getting up towards the top of the hour, and we can take some more check-ins. Let's do it anywhere, anyway. I don't care if you're in text or you're in and out, you're mobile. Let's check in at this time, anybody, anywhere.
KI7GXR. Mike Oscar Whiskey.
Matt,
Portland, Oregon, mobile, in and out.
N6QDY, in and out.
N4CGE. N4CGE.
KI4HTA, Kilo India 4 Hotel Tango Alpha, in and out.
W3ICQ. W3ICQ. Bravo 2, Bravo Oscar, November. Bravo 2, Bravo Oscar, November.
Alpha Echo 6 Tango Victor. Alpha Echo 6 Tango Victor.
Alpha 3 Mike Radio. Alpha 3 Mike Radio. Name is Walt Clareton Work. Clareton, PA. Good evening to you and everybody on the net. In and out.
KR4 JGB. KR4 JGB via Echolink.
KI6 DJD. KI6 DJD.
Kilo Alpha 1, Julia X-Ray Yankee, KA1JXY, Joe in Massachusetts.
Whiskey 6 Delta Juliet Charlie, W6DJC.
KR4 KDQ. KR4 KDQ.
All right, let's hold up right there and go up and talk about our in and outs. We've got AA3MR Walter in and out. Thank you for being here. KI4HTA Donald in Memphis, Tennessee, in and out. N6QDY David in Sacramento, California. And I have a call sign that is KI7 question mark, but we got you marked as in and out. So if you're a KI7 and we missed you, give us a call back. All right, let's go down and take a look at N4CGE. Chris in Leesburg, Florida. Good evening. Have you ever been on a jury?
Good evening, Dave. Everyone on the net. Yes, I have. I was on jury duty for about 3.5 weeks. It was kind of like a vacation for me because I got paid for the job, and they wound up settling out of court with some insurance deal. So, yeah. Thank you much. Have a good night, everyone.
And there was my audio ID for my note. So this is Dave, WB8ODF in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And you are on the open mic night. It happens every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a lot of fun. I got in here doing, thinking I was going to do a half-hour net, and I wound up doing an hour net, and it's just that much more exciting. All right, let's see. I think I'm online when I go with Bob. Bob, I think you're next, W3ICQ. Good evening.
Good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. This is a great question. I have served on 7 juries. I have been a foreman on 3 of them, and that's between 2 states, Connecticut and Florida. And I would suggest anybody who's called, do it. It's a great opportunity. You learn a lot. I shouldn't shy away from it. You owe it. I think it's something everyone should do. So back to you, W3ICQ. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, thanks, Bob, for being here so we could take your call. Up next is Doug, KB2BO. I almost did the 0. KB2BON. Doug, good evening.
Good evening, everybody on the net. And yes, I've been called a couple times. I didn't serve them, but a long time ago, years ago, 30-some years ago. I did get picked, went every day, and then for lunch, when we came back from lunch, they said that the defendant settled out of court, so he knew he was going to lose, I guess. We never got to render our verdict. It was a post-divorce trial. So that's it, one time. KB2BON.
Again, thanks, Doug. Up next from San Bernardino, California, on AE6 TV. Good evening.
Good evening to the net, and thanks for giving me a call. I was not selected, so I guess the answer is no.
All right, well, thank you very much for the no, and it's top of the hour, so I'm going to run the rest of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 check-ins, and we'll call it a night, an open mic night. KR4JGB, is it Scheider? Schaefer, I'm sorry. Good evening.
Good evening to everybody on the net. Name is John. They just had my name backwards in the FCC database, but yeah, Schaefer's the last name. Nonetheless, yeah, I was selected for jury duty, or called in, I should say. I spent a day there, found out it was for a murder trial, and luckily I did not have to do it because I knew it would have been about 2 to 3 weeks. So the answer is no, I did not have to serve ever jury duty yet. Back into control.
Well, thank you very much, John, and we have you corrected in the database. You're now going to be known as John. Thanks for letting us know that. All right, KI6DJD, good evening. You're from San Bernardino, California, as well. So you're the second one here in a couple of minutes.
Hello, this is JD. I'm not going to be able to say it. Yes, I am here with Hans in San Bernardino. We're using the same radio. Yes, I did serve on jury duty in San Bernardino County.
All right, well, I had to let that ID go. Thank you very much for being here, and it's great that you're here with Hans. We're here every single Wednesday for night. Maybe you and Hans want to jump in here and be a net controller. That would be cool. Just go to eastcoastreflector.com. All the information is there, and it'd be great to see you. We got 4 more people lined up. That'll be the end of the net. How about KS1JXY? And it's looking like it's a QRZ lookup, so I'm not sure if that's a correct call.
Yeah, it's KA1 Juliet X-Ray Yankee. Thanks for hosting the net. Been looking at it a little bit, listening to it for a little bit, and thought I would hop in. I have served on a couple of jury duties. Nothing worth mentioning. I mean, one was even just somebody had passed a bus, and it was a bit of a stretch because they couldn't prove who the driver was. But in college, I had been summoned, and then for 3 years running after that, I had also been summoned and had the petition saying, you know, you guys have already, I've already served. And just as a personal FYI, this is my first on-air contact with my new general license, KA1JXY.
All right, Joe. Well, it's always a pleasure. I have had a number of contacts as a net controller that I was their very first contact, or I was the very first contact as they upgraded, as you did today. Congratulations on upgrading, and thanks for being here. We're here every Wednesday. All right, W6DJC Joe, good evening, and have you ever served on a jury? I'm sorry, I said Joe twice. David, it's on you, W6DJC.
Morning, good evening, guys. Whiskey 6 Delta Juliet Charlie. You know, there was this one time where I did go into jury duty, and I forget what they asked me, but I remember clearly saying, you know, I can just look at the person and tell if they're guilty or not. And for some reason or another, they dismissed me right away. So I don't know about that. And since then, because I'm old and I can't go to jury duty, I had a doctor's note, so nobody sends me any notes anymore. Doing a great job there, Dave. Hope everybody's having a great evening, great morning, everyone in the world. Whiskey 6 Delta Juliet Charlie.
Thank you, David. And it's been a great night so far. We have 2 more check-ins, net-ins, and I want to tell you, once again, if you would like to do what I'm doing, you can go to the eastcoastreflector.com webpage, or you can email Terry, N5RTC, or Mark, EDS, and tell me you'd like to do this, because it's fun. I got to do it for a whole hour. All right, two last ones. Mark, you're up next. KR4KDQ, good evening. Mark, are you with us, or did you fall asleep? KR4KDQ. All right, well, let's mark Mark as tardy there and go to our last check-in for the evening. Tim, W5MOW, good evening in Kempner, Texas. Have you ever been on a jury?
Tim here, Whiskey 5 Mike Oscar Whiskey, and thanks for the call there. 7-3 to everyone out there. And jury duty, no, I haven't. I have not even received a letter to appear. So I don't know if that's lucky or unlucky. I know we had a case here in Texas one time. It was big on the TV with some motorcycle gangs had a shootout. And to be honest, I was hoping I would not get a letter for that. But anyhow, who knows? Life's still here, so maybe I'll get another one. But thanks for the call. Good net tonight. I appreciate it. And 7-3 out there, and turn it back over to net control from Whiskey 5 Mike Oscar Whiskey.
All right. Well, Tim, we had 57 check-ins this evening. Great net. I loved it. I was supposed to only do half of it, but I got to do the whole thing, which makes it 50% better. And I think I already said that I have been called, and I actually got out of it. I really don't want to be on a jury. I really don't. All right. Thank you all for being here for Open Mic Night. It's here every single Wednesday. You can go to the eastcoastreflector.com. Sign up for it. There's a drop-down box for that. And maybe you and I can do a half an hour together. I'll do the first half, you do the second. Do that as soon as you can because it's fun. It really is fun. Thanks, everybody. This is Dave, WB8ODF, returning the East Coast Reflector to normal amateur.